welcome to Rathods Science Academy. Today in this session we are going to see current affairs of 21st March 2025. So let's get started with our discussion. So before starting I want to make a small announcement. We in Rathods Science Academy are going to start new batch for prelims cum mains. So if you want to take foundation course, you can join our course. We are providing on both online and offline. So if you have any queries, so please contact us on the number which is given on the screen 8074765513. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can visit our academy, which is located in Ashok Nagar, exactly above Vikas Book Center and opposite Sub-Registrar office. You can come and you can meet me between morning 8:30 till 7 p.m. Okay. And now let us see the first article, guys. So if you see the title of this first article, it says 30 Maoists shot dead in twin Bastar encounters. So here you have to know about this keyword, that is Naxalism. Okay, Maoism is also called as Naxalism or left-wing extremism. So the keyword is left-wing extremism or Naxalism or Maoism. So this topic is important from GS paper 3 under internal security. So in your internal security, which comes in the GS paper 3, and actually this internal security is for only mains, guys. So in your syllabus directly we have this topic called as Naxalism or left-wing extremism or Maoism. So what are the dimensions you have to see? You have to see what is this Naxalism means. And you have to see where this Naxalism started in India. That is nothing but Naxalbari region. You have to know about that history. And next you have to see what are the causes for this Naxalism or left-wing extremism in India. And next you have to see what are the measures already taken by the government. And if time permits, you have to collect the names of recent operations. Okay, you have to see about names of recent operations done in Chhattisgarh, AP, like that. And next you have to see about what is the way forward. Actually, it is not only important from your internal security, guys, and even you may get a case study in your GS paper 4 ethics. So in your ethics also there is a very high chance of getting case study. Okay, you have to answer that case study. So the case study will be like causes, measures, like that only. So don't worry, if you cover all these dimensions, even you can write a very good answer for your case study also. Okay, now let us see this topic clearly. So context says that at least 30 alleged Maoists were killed in two operations. So where these operations had been done in this Bastar region, which is located in Chhattisgarh state. Okay, now let us see some facts regarding this Naxalism in India. So actually this term Naxalism derived its name from area where it was started. That area name is Naxalbari and where it is located in state of West Bengal. And actually it is a rebellion. Okay, it is originated as a rebellion which is against local landlords, so who are exploiting this farmers. And the rebellion was initiated in year 1967, and the important object to it is to focus on rightful redistribution of land to working peasants under the leadership of Kanu Sanyal and Jagan Santal. Actually, this movement started in West Bengal first, and later on this movement spread across eastern India and as well as some less developed areas of states like Chhattisgarh, Odisha and AP. So here you have to know about this concept called as Red Corridor. So Red Corridor is the region which is affected by this left-wing extremism, and you have to see which are the states which are part of this Red Corridor. Okay. So now let us see what are the causes of this left-wing extremism. First one here is obviously tribal discontent. Why? Because Forest Conservation Act came up, right? So because of this Forest Conservation Act, it is depriving the rights of this tribal. Because actually these tribals, they depend upon the forest produce. That is called as minor forest produce. Now because of this Forest Conservation Act, they lost their traditional forest produce rights. And next one here is even especially in this Naxal affected areas. So most of the times here these tribals, they are forcibly displaced. So this is also one important problem. Why? Because of developmental projects, because of mining operations, and even other reasons. And next one here is now these tribals, they are easy target for this Maoist, because those people, they are not having the proper source of living now. That is, they lost their traditional rights on forest. And Maoists, they started providing of arms and as well as ammunitions for this people. So because of this, the spread of this Maoism happened, especially in these tribal regions. And next one here is there is also gap in the socio-economic system of the country. So government which is focusing on providing certain basic things, and even now government is focusing on developmental activities in these Naxal affected areas. And next important thing here is there is no follow up on administration. So even after police takes hold of this region, so there is a failure of administration. So this is also one important reason. And next one is confusion over tackling Naxalism as a social issue or not. So these are like important causes of this spread of Naxalism in India. And if you see what is a strategy that taken by the government to eliminate this Naxalism, so we have three pronged strategy. So first one is government is focusing on improving of security. So for example, government employed security forces, separate security forces in this left wing affected regions, for example greyhounds in AP. And this one here is we are also doing certain joint operations. So even now also we did one joint operation. So these operations are controlled and coordinated by state and as well as central armed forces like CRPF will be there, and even Cobra will be also included in these operations. And this one is we are focusing on capacity building like upgrading of weapons, communication system, infrastructure for the forces who are doing these operations. And next one here is second important thing that we are focusing is developmental activities. Especially we are focusing on development schemes like Pradhana Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana. So like that we are focusing on improving of road in this rural areas. And even government came up with this aspirational district programs. Very backward areas will be getting developed under this aspirational district program. And this one is skill development. Especially government selected around 47 left wing affected districts, and in that they are focusing on improving of skill. So if skill is improved, obviously what happen, employment opportunities will be generated, so that the number of people who will be joining in this Naxalism or Maoism will be getting decreased. So on this also government is focusing on. And next one is government is also focusing on special infrastructure scheme. It is focusing on improving of basic infrastructure. For example, we have roads, we have bridges, we have schools in remote areas, etc. And even government is focusing on better governance. We want to increase better efficiency in these regions. And even government is focusing on empowerment. This is the third area. Empowerment is nothing but government want to increase trust and as well as communication between these people and as well as government. And even government is focusing on rehabilitation policies. That means the people who were earlier worked in this Maoism or Naxalism, if they come back and if they wants to mingle with this mainstream society, we have a scheme for this, that is rehabilitation policies are there. And under this, the people who wants to come up with the mainstream society, they will be getting vocational training, and as well as they will be getting some financial aid also. And next one here is we are also going to address the grievances of this people. So what are their grievances? That means nothing but what are their problems, what are the solutions. So all these things will be dealt. So that government is trying a lot to control this the Maoism or Naxalism in our country. And now let us see the next article. Title says AP government to implement sub-categorization of SCs. This is also very, very important, guys. So here the keyword is sub-categorization of scheduled caste. So from which subject you will be seeing? From GS paper 2 under polity and governance. So what you have to see, and even this topic is also important from your anthropology paper 2. If you are an anthropology optional student, so in paper 2 we have tribal anthropology. So in that ninth till ninth chapter, that's 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. So this topic you will be studying in your 7th chapter, okay? So here what you have to see about what is scheduled caste first. And next you have to see about constitutional provisions regarding the scheduled caste. And next you have to see what are the schemes related to this scheduled caste. So here, if you are talking about the schemes, so whenever government is implementing the schemes for upliftment of this SCs, so do this benefit is reaching all equally? No. So because of the schemes, we can see like some people are getting more benefited and some people are getting less benefited. That is also leads to increasing of inequalities within this SCs. That is also called as stratification is improving. So because of this, now what happened? So in this SC also, economically they're good people, right? So based on that, we are going for sub-categorizing in this SCs. Okay, and you have to see about what are the advantages of this sub-categorization and what are the disadvantages of this sub-categorization. Apart from this, you have to see what are the challenges, and next what are the measures can be taken. So all these are very important, guys. Okay, you have to focus on all these things. So now let us see this article in detail. The Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly approved the report of the Commission of Sub-classification of Scheduled Caste. So recently, one IAS officer related committee gave recommendation that yes, we can go for sub-categorization of SCs. And now finally, what happened? Legislative Assembly of AP also approved that report. So what is the meaning of subcategorization? It refers to division or classification of a large category into smaller and more specific subcategories based on certain criteria or based on certain characteristics. Okay, so now on which characters or in which factors you are going for subcategorization of this SCs, that is based on socio-economic status or like historical disadvantages. Based on that, we are going for again subdivide this SC into different subgroups. Okay, what are the benefits? So whenever government is coming up with any policies, we can go for targeting certain people who are at the lower. So first one is we can go for targeted policies. And next one here is fair representation. So increased political participation of different subgroups can happen now. And even we can focus on empowerment and recognition of that groups. Okay, and what are the disadvantages? Yes, in that essay itself there will be like increasing of subgroups, so that there is a risk of social divisions, there is a risk of exacerbations in existing social tensions also. And next one here is identification verification will be very difficult, and even sometimes it will also leads to politicization of different groups. So these are the positives and negatives of this, and you have to focus on this for sure, guys. And next article, title says army seeks inclusion of additional areas in Manipur under this AFSPA. So here, what is the keyword? That is AFSPA. So where you will be seeing about this AFSPA, guys? AFSPA, Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So here we see this topic from GS paper 3 under internal security again. So what you have to see? You have to see about full form of AFSPA first. That is Armed Forces Special Powers Act. And you have to see about history, why we came up with this and during which time we enacted this act. And next you have to see what are the provisions under this act. And you have to see powers of central and state government regarding this. So all these areas that you have to focus, guys. It is important from your mains and as well as prelims. Okay, now let us see this article. So here at review meeting, and in this meeting who are there? Our Union Home Ministry. That means AFSPA will be coming under our Union Home Ministry. So Army thought that inclusion of additional police stations limits in Manipur Valley districts within ambit of AFSPA. So we have to increase more number of areas under this AFSPA. So this is the thing which mainly set. And if you see about this history of this AFSPA, so even before we got independence, that is during this British time also, British government had enacted this. Okay, that is to suppress Quit India movement, to suppress this Quit India movement in India. So on this 15th August 1942, British colonial government promulgated this Armed Forces Special Power Ordinance. And actually this ordinance, it was one of the foundation for four ordinances, especially they imposed this in Assam distributed areas. And later on it had been changed into Armed Forces Assam and Manipur Special Powers Act in year 1958. Okay, and even it has changed into Assam Distributed Areas Act of 1955 to deal with uprising of Nagas and as well as adjoining area. And later on this Assam Disturbed Areas Act had been replaced by this AFSPA, okay, for wider application. So this is about some history here. And if you see about this Armed Forces Special Powers, actually it was passed in our parliament and approved by our president in year 1958. And then that bill became our act, that is Armed Forces Special Powers Act, after our president kept the sign on that bill in year 1958. And especially this act, which is mainly used in this northeastern states of India. Okay, and this AFSPA gives power to armed forces and also central armed police forces to deploy in disturbed areas. Okay, and here they can kill anyone under this act, and even they will be having utmost power, so they can arrest and they can search any premises without any warrant. Okay, so that is the thing. And here if you see who can issue this notification regarding this AFSPA, that is both state and as well as central government. So you have to see that thing. And now let us see the next article. Title says, believe India will cut tariffs substantially on US goods, says Trump. So actually you know that tit for tat tariffs are going on between India and USA. So now Trump gave a statement that yes, he is believing that India will be reducing tariffs. Okay, so see this one. So what is the history? So just revise your notes, that's it, nothing more than that. So now let us see the next article. Title says, panel flags shoddy implementation of center's flagship tourism scheme. So actually this article is talking about one important scheme, that is Swadesh Darshan. So here whenever any scheme which is coming in news means you have to see that for sure, and there is a very high chance of getting prelims based question on that. And this scheme comes under Ministry of Tourism, guys. Okay, now let us see this scheme. It is about Swadesh Darshan scheme, and when it was launched in year 2014 to 2015. For what? For integrated development of theme based tourist circuits. So what are those theme based tourist circuits? We have Buddhist circuit, we have coastal circuit, desert circuit, eco circuit, heritage circuit, northeast circuit, Himalayan circuit, Sufi circuit, Krishna circuit, Ramayana circuit, rural circuit, spiritual circuit, Tirthankar circuit, wildlife circuit, and tribal circuit. So these are the different circuits, and we are going for development of tourism in this circuits wise under this scheme. And actually it is central sector scheme, that means 100% of funds will be coming from central government itself, right? So what are the objectives? The first one is to improve tourism, because tourism will be the major economic growth tool, right? And this one is we are also going for development of circuits also, so that we can improve tourist potential in our country. And this one is we are also promoting cultural and also heritage value of the country to generate livelihoods in identified regions. And this one is we are also enhancing tourist attractiveness in a substantiable manner. And sorry, in even a sustainable way also we are going to increase our tourism. That means normally if you see about tourism, it will also leads to pollution, right? Because of throwing of plastics here and there, and because of increasing of people, the waste management will not happen properly. So because of this, whenever we are promoting these tourism sites or tourist areas, we have to focus on even sustainable tourism. So that is also one important aim. And this one is we want to follow community based development and pro-poor tourism approach. And this one is we want to create awareness among local communities also. So all these are the important objectives of this scheme. And now what is significance? The significance here is we are going to enhance the contribution of tourism And whenever we are improving tourism, it will also develops our local economy also, because local guides will be boosting up, and even local handicrafts will be getting recognition, and even sales of local handicrafts will happen. And even in that areas, hotels and as well as lodges and restaurants, hotels will be also sprout out, right? So because of all those things, there will be increasing of contribution of tourism to our economy. And next one is, we are also going to create jobs including self-employment for local communities, and we are also focusing on improvement of skills of local youth in tourism and hospitality, and we are also focusing on increasing of private sector investment in this tourism and hospitality, and we are also focusing on enhancing of local cultural and natural resources. Okay, now let us see the next article. This title of this article says the TB crisis and women, why gender issues matters more than ever. So this article is talking about gender discrimination even in health. So actually you know that TB, one important disease which caused by bacteria. Which bacteria causes that? Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So this Mycobacterium tuberculosis have the potential to attack any organ in your body. For example, it will be affecting your intestines, it will be affecting your eyes, your brain, etc. But normally people having a misconception that TB will be attacking only lungs. No, even other parts of the body will be also affected. That kind of TB is called as extra pulmonary TB. Pulmonary TB is only your respiratory tract will be getting affected. But if other organs of your body is affected, then that is called as extra pulmonary TB. So actually this article is saying that post treatment, that means after treatment for this TB. So what is the treatment? We have to take antibiotics for minimum 1 to 1.5 years, right? But what is a recent advancement in this TB? So we have BPAL regime, right? So BPAL regime reduced the time of treatment to 6 months, right? So here this article is saying that post treatment, so after the treatment for this TB, women face a challenge of skin discoloration and more weakness, and returning back to their normal life is very difficult for women compared to that of men. And even it was the mental toll that eclipsed my life. Okay, and the negative comments about appearance exposed me to discrimination that the disease brings within. So because of this treatment for this TB, what happens? Skin discoloration is happening and weakness is happening. So because of this, what happens? So if a person who is having the skin discoloration, can we accept them in the society? No, there will be the discrimination, right? That is a discrimination which mainly faced by women more compared to that of male. And women in India deal with already multiple hurdles. What are the multiple hurdles? There is stigma in society, and there is lack of health seeking behavior and poverty. And when they come back from this normalization of symptoms, there is less prioritization, and the role of caregiver in the family put women in compromised state. So if you see here, in a family, who will be taking care of the health of everyone, and who is responsible and accountable? That is so called mother, right? If mother is getting disease, then what happens? So entire family will be getting sick, right? And if mother is getting sick, she get any leave? No, not at all. So she has to compromise on her health for the sake of the family. And on another side, what happened? Because of treatment, there are some negative things which are happening in the women, right? So again, that will leads to discrimination. And across India, multiple cases of women being abandoned when diagnosed with TB, and especially who are diagnosed with the TB. For example, woman, if she is diagnosed with the TB, she will be getting abandoned, because when she cooks, when she take care of people, when she take care of elderly or like children, so there is a chance of transmission of this disease, right? So woman is getting abandoned. And there are cases of symptoms not being attended to and condition is being allowed to worsen. In some cases, there is no proper care for women who are getting this TB. Okay, so that is a thing that you have to see about. So even gender-based discrimination, it is happening because of these diseases as well. So you can write this example also when you are writing any essay regarding gender inequality, discrimination against women, women empowerment. Okay. So now let us see the next article. Title says free and fair. Election Commission of India must not view calls for transparency to attempts to undermine it. So this article is saying that recently Supreme Court said Election Commission to release booth-wise data, right? So already we discussed about this article clearly. So when EC releases this booth-wise data, then what happened? There are lots of issues like privacy issues are there and politicization is there. Okay, so all these things that you have to see, and already I think 2 days ago we discussed this article in very great detail. Just go back to that notes, that nothing more than that. And now let us see one image. So this is one interesting image that I find in today's newspaper. It is related to Theyyam. Okay, and this topic is important from your GS paper 1 under history, that too from art and culture. So if you're getting this kind of anything which is historically important, means yes, you may get a question for sure from art and culture. Minimum 4 to 6 questions that you'll get from art and culture. So you have to be very much careful about these images which are coming in the newspaper, right? So Theyyam, it is nothing but a popular ritual form of dance. So it is related to dance worship in which state? Kerala and Karnataka. And it is considered as 1,000 years old tradition and as well as 1,000-year-old rituals and customs they are following in this Kerala and Karnataka. And they will be getting blessings from this Theyyam to this dance. And each Theyyam is a man or a woman who attained divine status, and they will perform some heroic deeds or by leading a virtuous life like that. And actually, the most of these Theyyams are believed to be the incarnations of Lord Shiva or like Shakti. Shakti is nothing but mother goddess. And there are over 400 Theyyams, and some of the important and major types of Theyyams are, the first one is Vishnu Murti. So there are only two Vaishnava Theyyams, that is Daivatar and Vishnu Murti, and these Theyyams are believed to be the incarnation of this Lord Vishnu. And next one here is, this Theyyam narrates the story of Palantai Kannan, who is the Lord, who is a great devotee of this Lord Vishnu. And second kind of Theyyam is Gulikan. Gulikan is also believed to be very important, that is incarnation of Yama. Yama is nothing but god of death and justice. According to Indian mythology, Gulikan was one of the most important warriors of Lord Shiva. And last one is Kuti Chatan. It is the Theyyam of Brahman caste. And Kuti Chatan Theyyam is considered as, it has been originated for Lord Shiva in Vishnu Maya. So like that we have three important and major Theyyams that we have to remember. So these are the important topics that appeared in our today's Hindi newspaper. So by this I'm concluding, guys, and please do like this class and share this class, and don't forget to subscribe to Rathods Science Academy.